Also vested with the immense mandate of using innovation as a professional value and entrenching it deeply in Kenya's engineering culture in all sectors, especially in education, research, and even in practice. I make this call for a very considered reason. Engineering is vital for national economic growth and development. The strong relationship between a nation's engineering capacity and its economic development is well documented and established. We are committed to developing an optimal national engineering capacity to support the transformation of our country and to prepare our country to position our human capital, because we have requests for human capital across the globe. I had an occasion to engage with the Chancellor of Germany. I have had a discussion with the President of Canada. I have had a conversation with many other actors in the UAE, in Saudi, and they are all looking for human capital. It is important that professions like you work with policymakers. Let me give you another example. Yesterday, I was having a conversation with our actors who are supporting us with developing our labor for export. And one important aspect was mutual recognition of qualifications. I'm very happy that in this conversation, we are looking at how do we make sure that our region, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, and East Africa, progressively into the African continent, how do we standardize our professional training? How do we make it easier for us to work across the different countries? And how do we even make it easier for our professionals to work globally? It is therefore very urgent for us to use every opportunity to impart necessary skills and competence to learners from an early age, and in fact, all the way from pre-primary to the tertiary level of education. In that connection, I'm delighted to commission the fourth cohort of the Graduate Engineers Internship Program today. The program is designed to accelerate professional training and to cut the time required to qualify as engineers from between 7 and 12 years to only 3 years. In recognition of these needs of transforming the economy, the government is going to scale up the program from its current enrollment of 120 to 500 trainees in the next financial year. Maybe we should, it is a good point to congratulate all the interns who are graduating today. Can they stand up, the interns, to wapige makofi? Those great people. Congratulations, and we look forward to working with you going into the future. I am also delighted to witness the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding between the Engineers Board of Kenya when it happened in Korea a few months ago, and the chair of the Engineers Board was there with us. And I want to commit that the government of Kenya is also committed to the delivery of high-quality engineering capacity by establishing Kenya School of Engineering that somebody has alluded to. You can count on us, the engineers at the Ministry of Ministry of Transport and Roads can use the services of the lawyers in the ministry to make sure that all that is put together. We shall therefore support the Engineers Board of Kenya in this endeavor. Mr. Chairman, you can count on my support as we do that. Through the board, we are facilitating total compliance with the highest standards of engineering by building contractors and developers. It should no longer be possible for projects to employ unqualified people or to proceed without employing an engineer altogether. Qualified engineers must supervise building works from the commencement all the way to completion. And I am happy that now there will be a portal where we can all know who is an engineer and who is a pretender. And that all projects that are being undertaken, both by government of Kenya or by even the private sector, that a portal will give us who the engineers, who the professionals are, so that we can hold them to account. I expect the engineers board to flag out the people who are not living in accordance with the provision of ethics of your profession. It should be your responsibility, more than anybody else, before the public complain, before other agencies come for your members who are acting outside the law or unprofessionally, the board itself should be able to take action. And self-regulation should be the norm rather than the exception. I approve and support Kenya's bid to accede to the Washington Accord under the International Engineering Alliance and to promote international recognition of Kenyan engineering programs and qualifications, as I commend Nigeria for being admitted today. Congratulations. And you are trailblazing so that the other African countries can follow. I also support the enhancement of global mobility of Kenyan engineers. Such initiatives, including the recent admission of Engineers Board of Kenya as an affiliate of the World Federation of Engineering Organizations, bring our sector to international standard and expose our professionals to international best practice. This is good for Kenya engineering and therefore good for our development agenda. Therefore, there should be no doubt about government's commitment in the promotion and development of Kenyan engineering as a decisive component of our development. I encourage you to use this convention to define a clear roadmap for raising the overall engineering standard and capacity and making a catalytic contribution to the development of our country and to the management of our plan. There is so much for you to do, and you must quickly get ready to start working with us. I am grateful that I have this opportunity to talk to a professional body, people who are involved in many aspects of our development. And you can count on us as we designed what we consider to be the next plan to get our country moving. All the components that we put in place need the support of professional bodies, need the support of engineers in all their aspects, whether it is our digital superhighway, whether it is our agriculture and value addition and agro-processing, whether it is the component of universal health coverage, and even the component that we are looking at in housing. We will need a whole array of engineering capacity and professionals to support this endeavor as we drive our country into the future. Let me just say one final thing, that as I reflect on what we are doing, I am reminded that in this year's budget, for example, we are spending $5 billion, almost 650 billion Kenyan shillings, in our education, in our training, from primary school to university. We must be careful that as we spend this amount of money yearly, we must be careful to think about the output. What happens when all these men and women go through our education, our training, acquiring knowledge, acquiring skills, acquiring competencies? We must equally have a sound plan on how they are going to deploy the knowledge, the expertise, the skills, and the competencies they acquire in plowing back and developing our country. And that is why it is important for us to have a plan around jobs, around opportunities for entrepreneurship, around opportunities for doing business. That is as important as the plan we have on training, on educating, on ensuring that we have the best human capital. And as Kenyans, we must continuously reflect on how we want to do this and the means by which we're going to do it. I was expecting the engineers of Kenya to support the finance bill. I am surprised you guys are quiet. I have not heard your voice. You are the people who are going to benefit from the housing plan. You are the people who are going to implement our superhighway. You are the people who are going to implement our universal health coverage. You are the people. Now, you guys want me to do the heavy lifting, and you want to sit at the end and reap the benefits. That's not fair. I mean, good people. I think we should be in this together. So let me appreciate all of you for all the good that you're doing for our country, your contribution in making sure that whatever we are doing as a country is done professionally, is done in a manner that is sustainable. And I like what your president said about sustainability, making sure that all the aspects of our development. I remember I was having a conversation about the 100 large dams we want to build, the 1,000 smaller dams we want to build, and the almost 3,800 ponds and other categories of water harvesting and water storage interventions we want to make. Engineers will account for a substantial part of it. And I was having this conversation with the people at the Ministry of Water, the engineers at the Ministry of Water, and asking them the same question I was asking Michael Kamau when we interviewed him for the position of CS. I was asking Engineer Kamau then, why must we pay 80 million shillings for every kilometer of paved road? Isn't there another way we can do it, graduated, and we finally found a way? I'm very happy again, when we engaged the engineers at the Ministry of Water, they have now come up with an innovative, a much more creative way of delivery of our water harvesting infrastructure, our dams and ponds. So there is always room for us to innovate. There is always room for us to be creative. And I want to encourage you to travel that route. I wish you successful deliberations. Look forward with anticipation to receiving a report of your outputs and resolutions. And I'm sure I'll get it from my minister here. And I hope, like all lawyers, you will keep to the straight and narrow. And you will not interpret the reports, you will just keep. I declare the 4th Engineering Partnership Convention officially opened. Congratulations, thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. One more round of applause for His Excellency. Thank you for those